Hello. So previously we have added Stripe and Stripe webhooks to our application. So when a user is created in the application, he is assigned a Stripe customer ID. And now we're actually going to finish working on the subscription part of our application. So actually we are not going to reinvent the wheel this time. We have already done it, and I've done a whole series on creating a software as a service application using Stripe with Ruby on Rails. So we're just going to copy some things from it. And I really recommend you to watch this series. Now we'll actually open the source code of this. So it is available here at SaaS blog. And you see it is public. So you can always have a look at the code here. Now, first of all, we're going to add some kind of subscription information to our users model. So a subscription is basically access to content with an end date. So we'll need to add some kind of subscription end date to our users. Then we will need to add a plan to know what plan the user is subscribed to, and some kind of the subscription status to know whether the plan is active or inactive. So if actually here we open our schema.rb and have a look at our users, we see we have a plan, a subscription status that is incomplete by default, and a date time with the current period end. So let's add these three columns to our users table. I'll say Rails generate migration, add the Stripe to users. We will add a plan that is a string. We will add a subscription status that is a string, and we will add a current period end that is a date time. Okay, let's have a look at our migration. Here it is, and to the subscription status, we will add default incomplete. Okay, let's run the migration, Rails DB migrate. Okay, and let's now add a pricing page. So we've added the three columns to our users, and we will definitely want to have a pricing page so that the users can see the prices and select the price they want to subscribe to. So we will add a new pricing page here. For this, we will go to our, well, let's try to do this way. We'll go to /pricing. And it says no root matches get pricing. So we're going to go to our roots and get a root to pricing. Okay, I will refresh, and we have no action pricing in static public controller. So let's go to the controller, static public controller, and add a new action named pricing. We refresh, and we have no template. So let's go to our static public and create a new file named pricing.html.erb. And inside the file, let's just say pricing. Okay, so we have a page. Let's actually also add a link to the page in our navbar. So going to our header, we will add a link to pricing path. And the icon must be something like shopping cart, for example. There might be such an icon. Let's just check. Yes, there indeed is such an icon. Okay, so now we have a pricing page, but at the moment we don't have any prices. And if we look at our dashboard on Stripe, we have products and we don't have any products yet. So we need to create a product and a few prices for the product. Now, a product can have multiple prices, and some prices can be one-time payments and some prices can be recurring. So we're going to create a product and a couple of recurring prices. And we will actually do this via our console, not through the Stripe dashboard. So we'll say Rails console, and we will say product equals Stripe product dot create, and we will say name will be Super Rails. Okay, and we have created the product. Let's say we will call the product and the product.id, for example. So it kind of works. We have created a product, and if we refresh our dashboard, we must be able to see this product here. And now we will need to create a price for the product. And if we actually have a look at the Stripe API, we see what a price needs. It needs to be referenced to a product. It needs to have a currency. It needs to have a unit amount, so actual price, and if it is recurring, we should add an interval. So here we see we've created a product, and if we open the product, we can either create a few prices inside our dashboard, or we can do it via our console. So here we have, for example, the currency, the unit amount, one time, or recurring. And if recurring, we can say the billing period will be monthly or yearly or anything else. Okay, so let's go back, and we will actually write a command like this. I will just type it first inside our README so that we can think about it before doing it in the console. We will say Stripe price create, then we will have a product, and the product is going to be the one that we have just created and referenced. So it's going to be this one. Then currency USD, unit amount 900 would mean 900 cents, meaning $9, for example. Then recurring interval would be month. And we would actually also add a lookup key. So we would say lookup key would be something like monthly or Super Rails monthly, or like pro monthly. Yeah, let it be pro monthly. And let's see if we manage to create this price. I'll just need to add an additional comma here. Okay, let's try to create this price. So we'll say price equals this. And we seem to have created a price. Let's try to call it. We'll just say price. And we've got this price. We can also refresh our dashboard and see if we have created this price. And let's also create an additional price that will be the same, but yearly. So instead of 900, it would be an additional 0. And it would be interval not month, but year. And lookup key would be pro yearly. Okay, let's create this, and we must have created one more price. Okay, if we look at our dashboard, you see we have one price that is $9 per month, and now I will refresh, and we should have an additional price with $90 per year, so kind of 2 months off. Okay, in the meantime, we've created two prices, and we want to make them visible inside our pricing page. And we're going to get them directly from Stripe. We're not going to create additional tables in our application with products and with prices. So we're kind of moving the heavyweight lifting of all our payment logics to Stripe. Now you see we've got two products. So one product and two prices, so looks good. And we can also see how many subscriptions we've got on each product. Okay, so we want to display these two prices. And actually going back to the SaaS blog, if we go to our static pages controller, if it's called like this here, so going to controllers, static pages controller, inside our pricing, we get the prices by their lookup keys. So only the lookup keys that we need. Now we have lookup keys for these two prices. One is something like pro monthly, and the other one is pro yearly. You see, the lookup key is pro yearly. So this is why we added these lookup keys, to be able to get only prices with the relevant lookup keys. So let's go to our static public controller. And here we will add this line. So pricing, and we're getting the prices from Stripe. Then we're going to get pro monthly and pro yearly. And we get the product data and sort them by unit amount. So sort like first the cheapest, then the most expensive. Okay, and we will also want to display this pricing inside our pricing html.erb. So we would also do it like this. Let's go to our pricing.html and let's copy this and have a look if it works. Now we still don't have this pay button, so this one will not work because we don't have a checkout create path. I'm refreshing. I'm stopping the console and starting the server. And you see we have two prices. So if we go back to our pricing, we can see we have the name of the product. So the product is Super Rails in both cases. Then we have the price ID. We don't actually have to show it to our clients, but just for development purposes, it can be useful. Then we have the unit amount. So it is 900. And I just divided it by 100 to see it in like more human readable. Then we have the currency and we have the interval. So it is either month or year in our case. So like this, we get the prices directly from Stripe, and users can see the prices that we've got on Stripe, and we don't need to have a local table for this. Looks good. And now we will actually add this link for our users to be able to pay. So we're going to create this checkout create path. And to do this, we're going to go to our roots RB. Again, if we add this with checkout create path right now, it will not work because we have no checkout create path. So we're going to get this post checkout create to checkout create. So post checkout create to checkout create. And if we refresh, we have it available. But if I press, it doesn't give us anything. So first of all, we'll need to actually create this checkouts controller. We'll go to our controllers. Here we have this checkout controller. And we'll add this content from here to our new checkout controller. And here we're going to create a Stripe checkout session. Okay. And let's try to refresh and see if anything happens. And still nothing should happen. Let's have a look at our console. So previously we had this uninitialized constant checkout controller. Do we still have it? Yeah, so still nothing works. Well, here we can see that we try to render some kind of format JS. And if we look at our inspect, we might also get some kind of errors. So here we have this, let's see, I will press pay. And we get this error, unexpected token identifier. And yeah, the post request doesn't succeed. So actually we will need to do a couple of things. We will first need to create this checkout.js ERB page, the way we have it in app, views, checkout, create.js.erb. Let's go to our views. Here we are going to create a folder named checkout. And inside it will have create.js.erb. Okay, and here we will also need to get our Stripe public key. Now we will do it not this way, we will say .dig, and then we will say rails.env.toSim, then Stripe, and then I guess it is public. Let's just check if this works. I will open the Rails console and check if this key works. Okay, it is nil. I have to see how I have set up. It might be just ID. Yeah, it is ID. Okay, so I say Stripe ID here, and we will be able to redirect to this Stripe checkout page. And one more thing that we need to do to make it work is inside our application html.erb, we are going to add a Stripe script to enable Stripe like this, and going to our application HTML ERB, we will enable this Stripe script. And now it actually might work. I'll just restart the server. And I will try to press the button, pay 9 per month. Let's see if it works. So it's validating, and it still didn't work. Let's see why. Well, actually, it must be because we are not even signed into the application at the moment. So how can we subscribe if we are not signed in? And actually, it should also be impossible to subscribe, to actually have the button to subscribe if we are not signed in. So we'll just get this error. Anyway, we will handle this later. First, let's sign in. But you see, I'm in the development environment and I didn't configure the webhooks for my development environment. So let's actually go to our user.rb and assign, just temporarily assign the customer via our user.rb, but not via the webhooks. So now I'm going to sign in and create a new account by doing this. I have signed in and I have a Stripe customer ID. And now I will go to pricing and press pay 9 per month. And let's see if it works. Yeah, so we are redirected to the Stripe checkout page. So I can input my card information, add some kind of dates, and it must work. So let's wait for it to be processed. And while it is processing, actually Stripe is sending multiple webhooks to our application and they are not getting delivered. They're not getting delivered because we didn't configure it for our development environment and because we didn't say what to do in our webhooks in case the subscription has been created or deleted or updated. So we will set this up also. We will whitelist like this. And you see, we are going to update the subscription status as the subscription.status from the webhook, then the plan and the current period end. But this is slightly incorrect. This will not work. We will need to do it slightly differently. We'll go to the webhooks controller. And here is the right way to update the current period end so that it is updated from the integer in which the date time is kept. Like this. So this should work for the webhooks. And actually, if we refresh our Stripe dashboard and go back to the product, we must be able to see that there is a new subscription. So on the Stripe side, the subscription must be active, though we did not update the subscription data in our users model in our development environment because we did not have the webhooks configured correctly yet. Okay, so we'll go to the product and well, yeah, it is still updating the subscription. Let's go to all the products and have a look at the product. Something might be visible. Yeah, here we see there is one active subscription. So we actually managed to make a user subscribe. Let's just go and have a look at the users. So here is the user. And you see it has succeeded. So now there is one active subscription. Okay, looks nice. Now we are also going to add the webhooks. And let's also display somewhere that the user is subscribed. So, for example, in our users partial, in my profile, I'll be able to display all the subscription data. So let's go to the users partial and add a few additional Stripe columns. So now we have the Stripe customer ID, and we will also add the plan. So we will show the user plan. Then we will add subscription status. And we will also show subscription current period end. Like this. And we will also just show it as strf time, just to show the date. Okay. And let's refresh our users page, and we must see the subscription informations. Now we have undefined method strf time because there is actually no subscription period end, so it is nil. And we should maybe show it only if the current period end is present. So we will say if user current period end. Okay, and now we have an empty plan, subscription status is incomplete, and there is no current period end. Okay, looks fine. Let's try to save our changes. We've done quite a lot and see if it works. So I'll say git status, git add all, git commit main, add Stripe to users, pricing page, and subscription webhooks. Okay, now we are going to push to GitHub and to Heroku and see if it works in production. Okay, so now I have pushed to Heroku and run the migrations, and here I have our production application. Let's go and sign in as a user and try to subscribe. But actually, one more thing I definitely forgot to do is I would need to go to developers and inside webhooks, whitelist a few more webhooks. So previously we have whitelisted a webhook only for creating the user, and now we will also need to whitelist receiving webhooks for customer subscription updated, deleted, and created. So going to our webhooks and in update details, you see now we have only customer created. We will also select an event as customer subscription created, deleted, and updated. Okay, and let's update our endpoint. And now we will try to, okay, something didn't work. I'll go back and click sign in once again. So I have signed in. I'm going to go to pricing. I will select one of the plans. Let's select this other plan. Now I've redirected to the Stripe checkout page. And let's update our card information. We'll add the default testing card and click subscribe. And now Stripe must be sending webhooks into our application, and it should update our plan, and it should update our subscription end date and subscription status. So it shouldn't be incomplete anymore. Okay, now we're redirected back to our posts. And if we have a look at my profile, you see I have the plan pro yearly, subscription status active, and the period end is 1 year from now, so in a year. So adding the subscription via Stripe worked, and it's fantastic. And now we'll just add an additional button to manage our billing so that we can see all our payments, change our card information, and change a plan. So we would need to go to our settings in our dashboard and configure the customer portal. Here is the customer portal. And in the customer portal, we will have to need to add a link to the privacy and to the terms, I guess, to enable it. Okay, so we're going down. We'll need to add the link to terms. It is, yes, just terms. And a link to privacy. And the default redirect URL is going to be just the URL of the application. We don't need a headline right away. And what else do we need to add? So allow customers to update their payment methods, then allow promotional codes if we want to enable them, then allow to cancel subscriptions immediately or at the end of the billing cycle. Let's make it at the end of the billing cycle. Then no need to pause or resume. Then switching to a different plan will be allowed with prorating. And we are going to select a few products. We're going to select both products for Super Rails. Okay, and it should work. So we are adding the customer portal, and now we'll just need to add a link for the customers to be able to edit their details in the customer portal. And the same way we did it in the SaaS blog, we're going to create a new controller, customer portal controller, inside our application. So going here, we have this billing portal controller. We will create it inside our application, billing portal controller.rb, and let's add it. Okay, so we are going to get the customer by the current user Stripe customer ID and redirect to the portal session URL. Okay, and we'll need a link in our routes to this billing portal. So we will have a post to billing portal create. Let's go to our routes and add it. Okay, post billing portal create looks fine, and we need an actual link to make it work. So we will go and see how a link would look. Let's go to our application.html.erb, where we have the link in this demo application. And here we have the Stripe billing portal link. Let's also add it somewhere in our navbar, for example. So going to our header, next to the pricing page, we will have this link to Stripe billing portal. Billing portal create path method post. This is important. Okay, let's restart our server and see if it redirects us somewhere. So pressing Stripe billing portal, and yeah, it's actually redirecting us somewhere. And here we have our billing portal, and we can update our subscription, we can cancel the plan, change our payment method, and see our billing history. So let's try to update our plan. Let's select yearly and continue. It will now show how much we need to pay additionally. We will confirm, and it should update our plan. So this seems to be working well. Let's just save our changes with adding the billing portal. And yeah, we'll just make it look a bit more beautiful. So the class is going to be a nav link. And it is going to be visible only if there is a current user. So refreshing, now it looks in line. And let's just not say the word Stripe, just manage billing. Okay, and let's go back and ensure that it is not visible when we are not logged in. Okay, it is not. And let's save our changes. So git status, git add all, git commit main, Stripe billing portal, git push. Now it is really important, before you add the billing portal inside your application, you should first configure it as customer portal inside the Stripe dashboard. And now we will push to Heroku and see if it works there. Okay, so we have pushed to Heroku, and now let's refresh and see if we can access our billing portal. Here is our manage billing link. We are redirected. And here we can update our plan or cancel our plan. Let's say we will try to update our plan to a lower level, continue, confirm, and go back, and let's see if it was updated. I'm going to my page, and you see it's ending in 1 month from now, and it's pro monthly. So we successfully managed to downgrade our plan, and let's now go and try to cancel our plan. So cancel plan, confirm cancellation, and let's see how our subscription looks. So going back to our profile, we can see, interesting, it is still pro monthly and the subscription status is active. Let's go back to manage billing. Did it succeed or not? Okay, so our plan was finished, but we are still active till this date. And then we shouldn't just be build anymore. So it kind of works. Yeah, must be fine. Okay, and now we are going to continue adding additional functionality. So we can say we have concluded on this adding Stripe payments and subscriptions. Now we're going to actually make it so that some posts, the premium posts, are available only for users that are subscribed to a premium plan. And also we're going to make it so that the pricing button to pay is available only if there is a current user. So let's first of all go to our pricing, and we'll have this link to pay only if there is a current user. So if current user, or let's say if user signed in, then we'll have this link to pay. Okay, this kind of makes sense. Now, of course, later on we can make much more beautiful styling for our pricing. For now, let's just add some kind of break. Like this. Okay, and now let's log in and have a look. So we have posts that are premium and posts that are free. Now, at the moment, all the posts are free. Actually, we should update this in our seeds. So I will go to seeds.rb. Let's go to db, seeds.rb. And here we'll say that the post is going to be randomly either premium or free. Yeah, actually, we are going to have a look at how we can make a random boolean. Let's try this, true false sample. This looks legit. I'll type Rails console and see if it works. So true false sample. Yeah, this kind of works. And we're going to add this into our seeds. So we're going to say premium is true false sample. Okay, and we'll just make it into a few different lines so that it is more readable. Like this. And let's try to recreate our seeds. And one more thing we can do is add some kind of line that we have finished doing our seeds when the seeds are done, because now nothing happens. So we would say something like print seeds done, for example. Let's see if it works. Rails DB reset. And we're going to drop the database, create the database, migrate the database, and seed the database. And you see it says seeds done. Okay, so let's actually update this seeds done method. Let's say how many users were created. So let's say user.count users created. Let's see if this works. So, okay, it did not work. Why didn't it work? It should be two gaps like this. So we'll do users created and posts created. Okay, so once again running Rails DB reset, and we expect to see how many users and how many posts we have created just now. And you see 5 users and 17 posts. So looks good. Now let's start our server. And here we have all our posts. And we're going to add actually a couple of scopes. We're going to add a scope to see all the premium and to see all the free posts. So going to post.rb, we're going to add a scope free. Then it would go to where premium is false and scope premium where premium is true. Okay, and let's try to start it in the console, and in the console try to see the posts that are premium and posts that are free. So let's say post.count, post.premium.count, and post.free.count. Okay, so this kind of works. And we can actually scope this inside our users controller. So let's say if user or if current user is not an active subscriber, for example. So subscription status is not active, then they're going to show the posts that are not premium. So we will see only free. So we would say, oh my God, I'm doing it in the users controller. I should do it in the post controller. Oh my. So going to the post controller, I see that something's wrong. Yeah. So if current user subscription status is not active, we're going to see post.free. Otherwise, we're going to see post.all. Else post.all. Okay, let's start the server and see if it works. So go into posts, and yeah, we don't have the subscription status working correctly. Let's have a look at our schema. Is it subscription status? It is subscription status. Yeah, oh, actually made the equation incorrect. The way we are going to do it, we are going to add these statuses to our user's model. So we are going to see in the user's model if he is active or inactive or incomplete. Let's say def active, and it will be subscription status equals active. And this way, inside our post controller, we can just call current user.active ? to see if he is active. So refreshing, and it still didn't work. Now, I wonder why. What if we also say self? So going to user.rb, let's say self.subscription status active. No, it still did not work. Actually, I just typed subscription status incorrectly. Oh my God. So subscription status. Let's see if it works now. And it seems to be working. So, okay, now I'm in the posts, and I see both free and premium posts. And going to my profile, the subscription status is incomplete. So why do I see both posts? Okay, so if the subscription status is active, then we see all, otherwise we see only free. Now I'm going to posts, and you see now I can see only free posts. So this kind of works for the posts index, but we can still access some kind of posts show. Let's go to posts/5, for example. And you see, by going to the URL of a post, we can still access the post, not being a premium user. So this is kind of a bug that we definitely have to fix now. So how would we do it? In the show view, we would not permit users that are not active to see the post if it is a premium post. Okay. So we are actually going to write a validation here. Let's say if at post dot premium, so if the post is premium and the user is not active, so and current user dot subscription status is not active, then they're going to redirect to the post path. Redirect to posts path alert, you are not a premium subscriber. Okay, and we'll have an end here, and let's try to see if it works. So I'm going to refresh the page, and you see we are redirected to the post path saying that you're not a premium subscriber. So it kind of works, and it works well. So now only premium subscribers can see premium posts. This kind of makes sense. Okay, and we've actually done quite a lot of work, and I think it's enough for now. Just one more thing I will do, going back to user.rb, I have manually set the webhooks useless for creating the Stripe customer ID. So we'll go back to using webhooks. Okay, this was a really hard topic and a real lot of logic, and it's just impossible to have it all in the head. So I guess that next lesson is going to be easier. We're going to do some styling for our application, and now we can actually say happily that we've done maybe the hardest part in creating our application. We've added all the subscriptions business logic. So I think it's enough for now, and thanks for being with me if you managed to watch till the end. So see you in the next lesson. Goodbye and have fun coding.